Hi there, it's Christine again, this time with our thought for the week. Most of you who know me will know that I love making frogs. Frog keyrings, frog book corners, frogs on clothes pegs to keep your notes on, and this week, frogs on milk cartons. But most of all, I love making little origami frogs like this one. Wow! Kate first taught me how to make these origami frogs about 8 years ago, and I think I've literally taught hundreds of children and adults how to make them. People in churches, in holiday clubs, chatterboxes, and even to strangers on trains. But why frogs, you may be asking? Well, frog stands for fully rely on God. I've had to fully rely on God many times, but the time I think I did it most and learnt more of God's power and presence was when I went to Peru with the Vine Trust in August 2006. I went with a team of doctors, dentists and nurses on a boat, the Amazon Hope, up the River Tigre in the Amazon area. I was totally out of my comfort zone. Firstly, I went without my husband John. I didn't go with any friends, but with a team of people that I'd only once met before when we left Scotland. I was working as a dental nurse. I'd done a lot of reading of dental textbooks and had a lot of work experience learning Spanish too, because our patients and quite a lot of the crew could speak no English. This was the boat we went on, the Amazon Hope. We had many problems on our trip, the first being that the new boat we were supposed to go on developed major problems before we even boarded, so all the equipment had to be transferred back onto this old boat. We eventually left the port and travelled up the River Tigre. The next day, when we started to check all our equipment and get ready for our patients in the afternoon, I discovered that the trays for the steriliser had been left behind. This was a huge problem. All the instruments and tiny pieces of drills needed to be sterilised, and this was one of the most important parts of my job. But you need small trays to put them on. What was I going to do? We couldn't possibly return to port. We were now 17 hours away from the nearest town, in the middle of nowhere, up a river in the middle of a jungle. So I prayed, Lord, help me. I went up to the kitchen and spoke to the cook in my broken Spanish to see if he had any small metal trays that would fit through a hole about this size. He didn't. But I saw a metal tumbler and I got the engineer to half it. Here's the tumbler, to half it. So now we had 2 small trays. Thank you, Lord, and I really meant it. I brought these trays home with me to remember. Each morning before breakfast, the whole of the medical team and the crew met to read the Bible, pray together and worship God. This we did in a mixture of English and Spanish, with someone translating whoever was speaking. We loved singing songs in Spanish. This time was so important to us, just as important as our breakfast was. We had lots of problems during our trip, and we had to pray about each one of them, as there was nothing else we could do. The very first night on board, we were shown to our cabins. Pam and I had this small cabin, and I was given the top bunk. It was very, very narrow, and had no sides to it, and was high. I was terrified I'd fall out. I couldn't get to sleep. I just lay awake thinking. And then I suddenly remembered that I was scared of boats, and we were on a small boat travelling completely in darkness with no lights at all. How could I have forgotten I was scared of boats? You see, I'd been so busy learning about being a dental nurse and learning Spanish that I'd never thought about the boat. After a long, sleepless night, in the morning my roommate Pam told me to read Psalm 121. You should read it too. It talks about God never sleeping and watching over us day and night, being our help and keeping us from all harm. I couldn't believe it. It was as if God was speaking directly to me through the words of a psalm written hundreds of years ago. Do you know, at the moment we are in very strange times, and we are all out of our comfort zone. We don't know what the future is, when we can meet our friends and family again, when we can go back to school, church or our jobs, when we can visit a cafe or the cinema. But we can fully rely on God because He knows, and He is watching us. He never sleeps. He's our help, and the Bible has plenty of stories in it to back this up. We need to pray. Read the Bible so God can speak to us through it, and ask God to open our eyes to see the way He's working in our world. Why don't you make a frog too, to remind you that you can fully rely on God? I'm going to teach you how to make a little origami frog, just as Kate taught me, because looking on YouTube, there's nothing as easy as the way Kate taught me. First of all, you need a little bit of card, the size of a train ticket, or use an old train ticket. For our demonstration, to make it easier, I put a T at the top and a B at the bottom for bottom. I've labelled one corner 1 and the other corner 2. So first of all, I want you to get corner number 1 and fold it over like that and make a nice crease. Open it up and do the same with corner number 2. So we've got like that. And then take the bottom and fold it up. So we have that. And we've got a nice crease there too. Open it up, turn it over and take the top and fold it over to the crease that we've just made, and so it's like that. Then undo it. Now you'll see you've probably got a little point here. Push the sides in until you've got an arrow like that. And then I want you to lift up one of these flaps and fold in this side to the middle. Okay? And then do the same with the other side. Fold right into the middle. So we have an arrow like this. Turn it over like that. Then with these arrow points, we're going to horizontally put it up to make a paw, and the same with the other one. So it looks like this. We've got our 2 paws. Then we're going to fold up our bottom on the original crease that we'd made, and then fold it back to make a new crease. And that will be the legs of our frog. So now we've got our little origami frog, and you'll see that it jumps beautifully. Wow. I hope you have fun making it. See you next time. Bye.